Title. Someone chosen for you is near. Will you trust? Have you ever wondered why certain people appear in your life exactly when you are ready to stop believing in miracles? Perhaps it is not an accident. Perhaps someone has already begun walking toward you, not by chance, but by purpose. There is a person whose heart has been quietly prepared through years of lessons, failures, heartbreak, and hope. They do not know your full story. You do not know theirs. Yet somehow, the path is slowly bringing both of you together. Life has a mysterious way of connecting souls at the perfect time. Not too early, not too late. Exactly when both people have become who they were meant to be. Right now, you may feel alone. You may wonder if anyone will truly understand you. But what if your waiting has not been a punishment? What if it has been preparation? Every disappointment, every goodbye, every sleepless night was shaping your heart, teaching you the value of genuine love. Some people enter your life only to teach lessons. Others arrive to stay. The difficult part is learning to recognize the difference. The person chosen for you will never be perfect. Neither will you. But together, you will discover that love is not about perfection. It is about commitment, respect, patience, and choosing each other again and again, even when life becomes difficult. Somewhere, not far from where you are, someone is wondering if they will ever find a person who accepts them completely. They have prayed. They have hoped. They have almost given up. Yet deep inside, their heart still whispers, "Keep believing." What if that whisper is leading them toward you? Trust is never easy, especially after disappointment, after betrayal, after promises that were broken. Your heart builds walls, not because it hates love, but because it fears more pain. Yet walls can also keep out the very blessing you have been waiting for. Imagine meeting someone who doesn't ask you to become someone else. Someone who values your honesty, your kindness, your dreams. Someone who sees the light inside you, even on days when you cannot see it yourself. Would you trust that kind of love? Or would fear convince you to walk away? Sometimes the greatest risk is refusing to believe that something beautiful can still happen. Life changes. One decision, one conversation, one unexpected meeting at a time. Perhaps the next chapter of your story is closer than you think, to be continued in. The journey does not end with hope, because hope must eventually meet courage. Somewhere, the person who has been chosen for your path is facing their own battles. They have known the pain of being misunderstood. They have carried silent tears, hidden behind gentle smiles. Many nights they asked themselves, if love is real, why has it taken so long? But every delay had a purpose. Every closed door protected them from a future that was never meant to be theirs. Just as your disappointments prepared you for something greater. Neither of you could have met years ago. You were still growing, still learning, still becoming the person you needed to be. Timing is one of life's greatest mysteries. What feels like waiting is often preparation. One day, without warning, your paths will begin to cross. Perhaps through a simple conversation. Perhaps through an unexpected meeting. Perhaps in a moment that seems ordinary, but later changes everything. At first, neither of you will realize how important that moment is, because destiny rarely announces itself with loud voices. It arrives quietly, like sunrise, slowly, gently, almost unnoticed. Trust will not happen in a single day. It will grow, one honest word at a time, one shared smile, one act of kindness, one promise that is actually kept. Little by little, the walls around your heart will begin to fall. Not because someone forced them down, but because, for the first time, you feel safe. Safe enough to be yourself. Safe enough to dream again. Safe enough to believe that love can heal what pain could never destroy. The person chosen for you will not complete you. Instead, they will inspire you to become the strongest version of yourself. Together, you will discover that real love is not about finding perfection. It is about growing side by side, supporting one another, choosing kindness, even during difficult days. If your heart has almost given up, do not lose hope now. Sometimes, the greatest blessings appear just after the longest season of waiting. Your story is still being written, and perhaps the next page will introduce the person who has been walking toward you all along. To be continued in. There comes a moment when everything begins to change. Not because the world suddenly becomes easier, but because your heart finally becomes ready. The person who has been walking toward you has also been changing. They have learned that love cannot be forced. It cannot be rushed. And it cannot be built on fear. Every challenge they faced taught them the importance of honesty, of patience, of faith. Meanwhile, you have been learning the very same lessons without realizing it. Your stories have been moving toward the same destination. One day, your eyes will meet. Perhaps for only a moment. Yet something will feel different. Not because of magic, but because peace will replace the uncertainty. You won't need to pretend. You won't need to impress. You won't need to become someone else. The connection will grow naturally. Conversation will become easy. Silence will become comfortable. Laughter will become healing. And slowly, you will understand that true love feels like home. There will still be challenges. Every relationship has them. There will be misunderstandings, busy days, unexpected obstacles. But unlike the past, neither of you will choose to walk away at the first difficulty. Instead, you will choose to communicate, to forgive, to grow together. That is what makes a lasting relationship. Not perfection, but commitment. Every morning, you will discover new reasons to appreciate the person standing beside you. Not because they are flawless, but because they continue choosing you again and again. Perhaps you are wondering, when will this happen? The answer is simple. Keep becoming the person you hope to meet. Protect your peace. Strengthen your faith. Be kind. Be patient. And never allow past disappointments to convince you that your future cannot be beautiful. Someone may already be closer than you think, preparing for the same moment you have been praying for. When that day arrives, do not let fear speak louder than hope. Trust may feel risky, but sometimes it is the very bridge that leads to the life you have always dreamed of. To be continued in. The story does not truly begin when two people meet. It begins long before that. In the quiet moments when both hearts choose to heal instead of giving up. There were days when you questioned every delay, every unanswered prayer, every goodbye that left a scar. You wondered if love had forgotten your name. But what you could not see was that every ending was making room for the right beginning. At the same time, the person destined to cross your path was facing their own storms. They, too, experienced disappointment. They trusted the wrong people. They believed promises that were never kept. And because of that, they became cautious. Just like you. Yet deep inside, neither heart stopped hoping. Even when hope was barely visible. Life has a remarkable way of bringing people together after teaching them the lessons they could not learn Any other way. One unexpected day. A conversation will begin. It may seem small, almost ordinary. But sometimes, the smallest moments create the biggest changes. You may laugh together, share stories, speak honestly, and for the first time in a very long time, your heart will feel at peace. Not because every question has been answered, but because you no longer feel alone. That peace is something you cannot force. You cannot fake it. It grows when trust is built through actions, not just words. The person chosen for you will not ask you to hide who you are. They will encourage you to become even better. They will celebrate your victories, stand beside you during your struggles, and remind you that difficult seasons never last forever. There will still be moments of doubt, moments when fear tries to return. But this time, instead of running away, you will choose understanding, patience, and forgiveness. Because lasting love is not found in perfect days. It is built by two imperfect people who refuse to stop believing in each other. If today you are still waiting, do not lose heart. The chapter you have been praying for may be much closer than you imagine. Every step, every lesson, every tear has been leading to a future where trust becomes stronger than fear. And perhaps, very soon, the person chosen for you will no longer be a distant hope. They will become a beautiful reality to be continued in. The waiting has never been without meaning. Every season that felt empty was quietly preparing your future. There were moments when you almost stopped believing. You smiled on the outside, but inside, you wondered if your story would ever change. Yet destiny never forgot your name. While you were learning patience, someone else was learning how to love without fear. They were discovering that true happiness is not found in wealth, not in status, not in perfection, but in sharing life with someone who brings peace to their soul. Little by little, the distance between your paths has been disappearing. Every decision, every lesson, every unexpected turn has been guiding both of you toward the same destination. One day, the meeting will finally happen. It may seem like an ordinary day. The sun will rise, as it always has. People will continue their daily lives. But for you, everything will quietly change. Because one conversation will become the beginning of something unforgettable. You will notice the honesty in their eyes, the kindness in their words, the calmness in their presence. And without realizing it, Your heart will begin to trust again. Not because you promised never to be hurt, but because you finally found someone who values the truth. Real love is never rushed. It grows like a strong tree. Its roots go deep. Its strength comes from patience. And its beauty comes from standing together through every season. There will be days filled with laughter, days filled with challenges, moments when life tests both of you. But instead of walking away, you will stand together. Because love is not proven during easy times. It is revealed when two hearts choose each other, even during the hardest storms. Perhaps this message found you for a reason. Perhaps it is reminding you not to give up just before everything begins to change. Keep your heart open. Keep your faith strong. Keep believing that what is meant for you will arrive at exactly the right time. The person chosen for you may already be closer than you ever imagined. And when the moment comes, do not let fear make the decision. Let hope, let wisdom, and let love guide your next step. Because sometimes the greatest blessing is not finding someone. It is finding someone who chooses you every single day to be continued in. And then the moment you once imagined finally arrives. Not with a dramatic sign. Not with a voice from the sky. But with a quiet feeling that something is different. You notice how peaceful their presence feels. There is no pressure, no pretending, no need to wear a mask. For the first time in a long while, you feel accepted exactly as you are. The conversations become deeper. Hours feel like minutes. Silence no longer feels awkward. Instead, it becomes a place where both hearts can simply rest. The person chosen for you does not try to control you. They encourage your dreams. They celebrate your victories. And during your difficult days, they remind you that you never have to face life alone. Slowly, you begin to understand why the past never worked out. Every goodbye protected you from a future that was never meant to be yours. Every delay led you to this moment. Every lesson prepared you to recognize a love built on trust. There will still be days when fear whispers, "What if this ends too?" But this time, you answer with courage. You choose faith over fear, hope over doubt. Because real love cannot grow where fear makes every decision. It grows where honesty, respect, and patience are planted every single day. As the seasons continue to change. So will your story. What once felt impossible will become your everyday life. The dreams you almost stopped believing in will slowly become reality. One evening, as you sit together, watching the sunset, you will realize that happiness was never about finding a perfect person. It was about finding someone who stays, someone who listens, someone who believes in you, even on the days you struggle to believe in yourself. That is the kind of love worth waiting for. So if today you are still walking alone, do not lose hope. Keep growing. Keep healing. Keep trusting that every step is leading you closer to the person who has been walking toward you all along. Because sometimes the greatest love story begins with a single choice. The choice to trust again, to be continued in, comes to an end. Not because life suddenly becomes perfect, but because you finally understand why every chapter had to happen exactly as it did. The person who was chosen for your journey is no longer just a dream. They are now standing beside you, not by accident, but through every decision, every lesson, and every moment that shaped both of your hearts. Looking back, you realize the heartbreak was never the end. It was a redirection. The closed doors were not rejections. They were protection. The delays were not punishment. They were preparation. Now, as you walk together, you begin to create a new story. A story built on trust, respect, patience, and unwavering commitment. There will still be difficult days. There will be moments when life tests your strength. But instead of giving up, you will remind each other why you chose to stay. Because true love is not measured by how easy the journey is. It is measured by how faithfully two hearts walk through every season together. Years from now, you may sit watching the sunset, holding hands, smiling quietly, as you remember the days when you thought this moment would never come, and you will whisper, "I'm so thankful I didn't give up." If you are hearing these words today, take them as a reminder. Do not let fear write the ending of your story. Do not allow past pain to convince you that your future cannot be beautiful. Keep believing. Keep growing. Keep becoming the person you were created to be. Because somewhere, perhaps closer than you imagine, someone is also praying for a heart just like yours. And when The right moment finally arrives. Trust it. Welcome it. Protect it. And never forget that the greatest blessings often arrive quietly after the longest wait. May your heart remain open. May your faith remain strong. And may the love that is truly meant for you find its way into your life at exactly the perfect time. The end. But even after two hearts find each other, the journey is not over. In many ways, it is only beginning. Because love is not a destination. It is a promise. Renewed every single day. There will be mornings filled with joy. And nights filled with questions. Moments when life feels effortless. And moments when it asks everything of both of you. During those times, remember why your paths crossed in the first place. Not because life would always be easy, but because together you would become stronger. The person chosen for you will remind you that home is not only a place. Sometimes home is simply the heart that refuses to leave your side. As the years pass, your love will no longer be built on excitement alone. It will be built on trust, on quiet sacrifices, on countless moments when both of you choose kindness instead of pride. One day, you will face a challenge neither of you expected. Perhaps a season of uncertainty. Perhaps a dream that seems out of reach. But instead of letting fear separate you, it will teach you how powerful true partnership can become. You will realize that love is not proven when everything goes according to plan. It is revealed when two people stand together, even when the road becomes difficult. And then, one quiet evening, you will look at the person beside you and understand why every delay, every heartbreak, every unanswered question led you to this very moment. Because what is truly meant for you does not arrive to break your spirit. It arrives to help you grow. So if today you are still waiting, do not lose faith. Do not close your heart. The chapter you have been praying for may already be unfolding in ways you cannot yet see. Someone chosen for you may be only one conversation, one meeting, one step away. When that moment comes, do not be afraid to trust. Sometimes the greatest miracle is not finding love. It is discovering a person who chooses to walk beside you for the rest of life's journey, to be continued in.